Hey, what's going on, Latin people? So in the previous video, we had done part 1 of number 13. Now we're going to go on to part 2. So we see the sentence pater in tablino scribit. So now you're like, what's going on in this sentence? I mean, we have pater, which is the father, which is a name. In tablino, we had done in previous examples, and now we know it's in the study. In number 13, we had found that out. But we get this verb called scribit. So I'm guessing you don't know anything about conjugating, so let's just introduce you into that. So in the previous videos, you had done the conjugation of sum. So sum is an irregular verb, meaning that it's not formed the way typical verbs are. But luckily enough, scribo, scribere, as seen in scribit, is actually a regular verb. So it's following a traditional set of rules and isn't irregular. So scribo, scribere are the only two parts of information you need right now, as seen over here. Now, I tell you that it means to write, and to write isn't going to be used in this sense in the translation. I'm not going to say the father in the study to write, because that would just sound odd. So the infinitive isn't going to be your literal translation. We're going to figure that out. So you take the second principal part, as you can see, scribo is number 1, and this is number 2. So you take the second principal part, and first off, you just take off the re. So you see scribere, you say scribe is going to be my stem. And so always for conjugating verbs, we're going to take the first principal part, which is scribo, and we're going to just write that down first. And now we have these endings, ost, mustis, and t. So present tense, this is a present tense verb that we're doing right now. So present tense verbs follow this set format. So once we write out all these endings and apply our stem, we find that scribit over here corresponds to scribit down here. So we know we're on track. So once we know we found scribit, we can write our English translation of that. So since we're in the present tense, which is an action that is currently happening to a noun, which is pater, we know that it is he or she writes. Now, father is a male, so we'd say he writes. So now we can go on to the translation. We can say, the father writes in the study, since we've now covered conjugation, and we have a solid understanding of how those conjugations affect the nouns and the rest of the sentence.